On the eve of the Cassinga Day commemoration, Angola and Namibia respectively conducted the second session of the Namibia-Angola political and diplomatic consultations, which were held in Tsumeb in the Osikoto region in order to address common challenges and to take advantage of shared opportunities.
Whereas the implementation of some agreements is going on well, I would like to state that trade between our two countries remain low. Given our history, I believe there is more we can do to increase trade volume and activities.
The meeting also paid tribute to the victims of Cassinga Massacre that occurred on 4 May 1978 when the South African apartheid regime attacked Namibian refugee camps in Cassinga, southern Angola, which left more than 800 killed and over 1,000 wounded. The two countries have agreed to elevate the joint ministerial mechanism into a binational commission to be hosted by the respective heads of states at a date to be announced later. President Hage Geingob reportedly established a board to spearhead trade activities with his counterparts.
I am happy to inform you that our president has decided to establish a special board that will promote trade and investment between Namibia and other countries.
Chairing the consultative meeting, Namibia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, expressed her wish for the signing of the draft bilateral cooperation agreement on trade in bovine, meat and meat products before the binational commission meeting takes place. On her part, Her Excellency Ambassador Tete Antonio, Angolan Minister of External Relations, commended both governments for efforts aimed at combating the spread of COVID-19 and for the rolling out of vaccines to their respective populations. Minister Ndaitwa reciprocated the assistance rendered by Angolan authorities to Namibians sharing their common borders.
As good neighbors, nothing has adverse impact. Noting the adverse impact of COVID-19 pandemic on our society and economies, allow me to express our appreciation to the government and the people of Angola for its assistance during the early days of the pandemic in facilitating cross-border trade, especially along our common borders.
In a communique issued by the two governments, the ongoing construction of monuments and shrines at Cassinga and Shedekela was applauded, while a joint technical committee will be established with the aim to construct a veterinary fence along the common border. The two ministers and the countries' respective ambassadors signed the agreement at the closing of the joint consultation meeting. I vividly remember that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Angola, came to Namibia during 2018 on May 4th to commemorate Cassinga Day with his counterpart, President Hage Geingob, who was hosting him, and where they have decided to build some monuments and shrines in honor of those who have died during Cassinga Day, rather during the Cassinga Massacre and that of Sedekela, and that the Joint Commission on Political and Diplomatic Relations between the Republic of Angola and the Republic of Namibia, chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Honorable Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, as well as her counterpart, Her Excellency Ambassador Tete Antonio, Minister of External Relations of Angola, have really resolved during their consultations held on the 3rd of May 2021 in Tsumeb, in the Sokoto region, to continue with the construction of those monumental shrines in honor of those who have been killed during the Cassinga Massacre and that of Shedekela. I think the two governments and the peoples of both Angola and Namibia are putting into place very, very commendable efforts to honor those who have left us.
Ya mwameme ya silamo omwene tamba mboka ya siloshiri mwene tamba mboka ya siloshiri.
Cassinga Day was such an unfortunate day when Namibians and the world over grieved following an airborne, very unprecedented attack which was launched by the brutal apartheid soldiers on the Cassinga camp, which predominantly hosted innocent women and children. Now, history has it that on that fateful day, the military sprayed pounds of high explosive bombs over this camp, which killed hundreds, about 800 Namibian women and children that were hosted in that camp, and wounded over 1,000 of them. But let us not forget that the leader of the Namibian Revolution, who was the commander-in-chief of the People's Liberation Army of Namibia, Plan, and who also at that time was the president of the SWAPO party, His Excellency Dr. Sim Safisuna Ndoyoma, has employed all efforts to unite the Namibian people who fled their motherland into exile in order to fight for the total liberation of this country. Under his custody and under his leadership, all Namibians from the length and breadth, the rank and file, were united under the liberation vanguard movement, the SWAPO Party of Namibia. But today, in an independent Namibia, while the very same leader of the Namibian Revolution, the founding president and the former president of this republic, is still alive and kicking, we Namibians seems to be tearing into each other and destroying each other emotionally. Even those who were at the forefront of the struggle then in exile are being eliminated from leadership positions and eliminated from the structures of the SWAPO party. I don't know where we are heading towards to. Those who have committed their youth, those who have fought during the struggle against the brutal enemies, today are not finding a home under their liberation movement because they are being replaced by the Johnny Come Lates, by those born frees, who were nowhere when the genuine, committed cadres of this party were committed towards waging the armed liberation struggle. Those who were not in exile were equally making a very, very gallant contribution from the home turf of Namibia, facing the brutal apartheid regime hands-on. Where are those people? Today we are frustrating each other. It's really uncalled for as we are remembering those who have died on May 4, 1978 on Cassinga Day. My appeal would be for Namibians to unite irrespective of their ethnicity or their rank or public standing.
Na tutange Soviet na Cuba, oe tuzapoto ilipo. Na tutange Soviet na Cuba, oe tuzapoto ilipo. Uyu ni nando wa pijala, obo manando na ditope. Konja, oe tema de tuwilike, ye, etu mangulula hobi. Oye tumangulula, sema. Oye tumangulula, sema. Oye tumangulula, sema. Oye tumangulula.